new things, don't we? Some of you know that I just bought a new car. Everything works. And for 3 years, I don't have to worry about anything breaking. And that new car smell. It reminds me of the last time Donnie and I bought furniture for the living room. We spent 2 hours just sitting in the living room smelling it. It was so clean and nice, just the aura. We were out in the yard this morning and all the buds are starting to come out on the tree. We were planting flowers. Spring reminds us, new life, a new season. Winter's finally over. Practically everyone, of course, loves puppies and kittens and even babies. We like new things. Well, today, a new thing is exactly what God is promising us. We often talk about salvation in terms of the negative consequences that we don't have to endure. We think of salvation as God fixing something that was broken. When the plumber comes to my house, he fixes exactly what is broken and no more. He does not rip out all the pipes in the house and fix everything. No, he leaves plenty to be done so that the next payment on his condo in Florida can be made. Because he is certain that the next thing will break. See, God's not like a plumber. He does not come into this world and fix the brokenness in the world enough so that it can limp along for a little while longer. Because Jesus died on the cross, we don't have to suffer hell. We don't have to suffer eternal fire where we'll forever be burned and never die. We don't have to suffer eternal isolation, not being loved by anyone and having no one to love. All of that is great news, that we don't have to suffer any of that stuff. And we're very grateful to our Lord for taking our place on the cross so that all the suffering of damnation was his and will not be ours, and Dante's Inferno never applies to us. However, having said all of that, hearing about all the things we don't have to suffer, that's not the complete story. The more exciting part of the whole thing is what we receive. Those of you who are kids, think about this. What if your parents came to you this year and said, "Hey guys, guess what for Christmas? For Christmas, you don't have to get up early for school, you don't have to take the garbage out, and you don't have to eat Brussels sprouts." Well, that's all nice, right? Those are all things that you'd like to avoid. But that's not the best part of Christmas. If your parents came to you and told you what you're not going to have to do on Christmas, you would say, "Okay, that's good, but what do I get?" That's what we want to know. What do we get for Christmas? And it's okay for us to be just that crass as well. Okay, God, it's nice. We don't have to go to hell. We don't have to burn without dying. And we don't have to eat Brussels sprouts. But what do we get? What we get is a whole new world. Jesus says in our gospel for today that he is preparing to ascend into heaven and to leave the disciples behind. He says, "So also you have sorrow now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take that joy from you." Do you hear what he said? No one will take our joy from us. But for us to fully embrace our joy, we need to know the cause of all that joy. And that's told us from St. John in his Revelation. "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eye, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, or crying, or pain anymore, for all the former things have passed away." And he who was seated on the throne said, "Behold, I am making all things new." And also he said, "Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true." And he said to me, "It is done." Remember those words from the cross? It is finished. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give from the spring of the water of life without payment. The one who conquers will have this heritage, and I will be his God. He will be my son. Hear that? He's making all things new. A new earth will be ours. We will have new bodies. And a new earth without sin, without fear, without pain. And we will live forever like that. Have you ever been so happy in a moment in your life that you just wished you could freeze time? Because you knew that the other shoe would eventually drop, as it always does in life. Have you ever had that moment that it was just so wonderful, you wish that that moment could just last forever? That is what we have. The most wonderful, amazing, joyous moment in history forever. A new world is ours, and it will remain new forever with that new world smell. And all we have to do is wait for a little while until Jesus returns to us. Calm down. Be patient. Endure the irritations of a broken world. Loved ones will die. Politicians will lie. Kids will make stupid choices. Friends will say hurtful things. People we trust will betray us. And as bad as it may seem, at that moment, remember the promise of a new world. Everything in this world will pass away. Everything in this world, not just some things, everything in this world, the good and the bad, are as fleeting as dew in the desert. Remember this promise of a new world, because that, folks, is what matters. We bank everything on that promise. And He's kept every other promise He ever made to us. He'll keep this one too.